Hello everybody, today we're gonna have the retro review of Oxygen is Not Included. Oxygen is Not Included has thwarted the releases of the early access got the first on the release status with the confidence, and boy does deserve to. So the Clay Entertainment has once again proven why they're one of the best developers in the world, as the Oxygen Not Included realized the Canadian studio unique style with their first attempt at colony building, space survival game. Exactly like Matt Damon in The Martian, you crew of the Duplicants start between the surface of procedurally generated asteroid with nothing more than a ration box, a cloning device, ear-to-ear grinds, and desire to start the colonizing. Okay, so maybe not exactly like Matt Damon, but you got my point. You'll soon set the little duplicants the task of digging away the dirt, sandstone, or whatever mineral stands in the way of the shovel as you start to expand snaking tunnels throughout the asteroid and turning rocks as you start into the rooms. In the end, it looks like the ant farm from Mom brought for Eden project in Cornwall, where you 6 and the tunnels weave through the 2D landscape and you little humans run back and forth frantically. What first stares as simple goals of constructing an otherwise finding creating an oxygen source and being able to make food quickly evolves into the ideas of the generator rooms, hospital, functioning bathrooms, and greenhouse, and even play for your duplicants to sit and relax after a hard day's work. Oxygen is Not Included allows these plants to germinate originally as you stumble through the various menus, popping into the research screen to read the description of the angled terrarium and only truly seeing what it does when you plunk into the piece of the land. As someone who really plays games like this, the terminology felt slightly alien, but that didn't matter to me. Experimenting with the various contributors is the part of the fun, as well as creating a clunky pipe system which has be adjusted on the fly to suit another ambitious idea. Red counting decision is a massive part of the colony building game on Oxygen is Not Included. Is well under the umbrella as your humble begins turn into the spider-webbed mess of pipes, ventilation shafts, and power grids, all of you trying to fit into the system to help you survive, prosper, and eventually shoot a rocket into the stars. While the game gives you goals like surviving 200 cycles or making space travel possible, it's largely fueled by your own desire and into the micro goals, which end up taking hours upon hours of planning and execution. With the chicken art style and humor, Oxygen is Not Included looks like a less of space simulator and more like The Simpsons Space, but don't let that fool you. Then the playful crust is brimming with the complexity and the level of the deep which will challenge any space simulator out there. It just happens to showcase, and it's easily designable way. Clay have done a good job for allowing you to access required information easily, which is nice because you be doing it a lot. To thrive in Oxygen is Not Included subphase, you would never need to understand its systems. From the temperature management to the gas distribution, Clay wants you to think about the weight of hydrogen or which gas will be more useful to cool down an area. Trying to figure out the best course of action can feel a bit like being back in a science at school, except a smiley over-evocate cartoon will keep you attention, rather than a STEAM teacher. The attention to the details is wonderful. Clay art team shine again the wild creatures, completing enthusiastically their moss, becoming the laser their hands of the weird main wool plants which have creepily crawls crying over the branches. It's a style which has its roots firmly on the Clay most popular games, Don't Starve. Alongside the word deep, the duplicants also have their own personalities and skills, with some loving to dig and others randomly falling asleep or farting frequently. As well as their abilities and status, the duplicants have more morale is affected by a whole variety of the factors, in particular when their comrade ends up suffocating in the area where the toilet waste is set. Hypothetically speaking, of course. While there are niggles to the experience from the relatively frequent frame drops at the start of the cycle and the AA occasionally getting confused to the game, outright crashing. These issues like sometimes going, but Oxygen is Not Included appears to be going onwards and upwards, or rather direction your fancy really. So I was playing on PC. Thank you for watching. Please the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. The links in the description. Have a good